reproductivo sistema.
What I like to do is to do testes, spermatic cord, and prostate today, and then we will do everything in the next lab. Okay. So here we're looking at the testes, and you see there are a number of tubules. They are seminiferous tubules. Okay. So the testis is a lobulated structure. There are lobules, and you'll see separating these lobules connected tissue septate, known as the septulae testis. So the testis is a lobulated structure surrounded by a thick fibrous capsule, and that thick fibrous capsule is formed by the cuticle albuginea. Okay? Cuticle albuginea is also seen on the ovary, but to a much lesser degree. So there's a fibrous capsule that is surround this gland, and then within this gland there are septae radiating from a structure such as the mediastinal testis. From the mediastinal testis, which are sitting on the posterior aspect of the testis, there are these shelves, which are like bookshelves that leave the testis, the mediastinum, and these are referred to as the septulae testis. And you are looking here at one of the septulae right here. And these septulae are going to subdivide the testis into different lobes. Okay, so in some cases you see the septulae testis very well. Let's just look at this slide right here. In some matters in what way or what direction, the testis is up, you can see the septulae. So here you can see in this testis right here, the septulae testis are very, very, very prominent. Okay, so the testis has what I refer to as the septulae testis within. Okay, depends on the animal that you're looking at. Now the testis has coverings. Okay, so the testis has first of all coverings. By the way, that we're looking at is the epididymis. Okay, so we'll also see the epididymis, okay, on the superior and inferior aspect. The posterior aspect of the body of the testis. So the testis has its covering. By the way, this is more epididymis that we're looking at right here. It's very, very nice. This epididymis here. And we know this is epididymis. Immediately we know this is epididymis. Right? And not testis that is digress. So 1 minute. Alright, because we see the area that the sperm are stored in. Okay, so the spermatozoa, they camp out. Right, just like soldiers, until called into action. Right, they're very dangerous fellas, don't fool with them. Alright, they're got a whole heap of trouble. Alright, and there they are quietly camping out in the what? The epididymis. Okay? So there you can see the epididymis. So where that you see sperm stored, then you know that we're looking at the epididymis. But we get back down to the testis, which is what we're discussing here. Alright, the testis has a fibrous covering. And that fibrous covering is known as the cuticle albuginea. Okay? So there's a fibrous covering known as the cuticle albuginea, white, and that's the white alba. And we see lining here, flattened cells. These cells are very flattened, and that's a mesothelial lining. And that mesothelial lining that is superficial to the cuticle albuginea. It's the visceral layer of the cuticle vaginalis. Okay? So with extrusion to the mediastinal testis, we see the covering, which is the cuticle vaginalis, the cuticle coat. The cuticle vaginalis has 2 layers, an inner, yes. Okay. So we have received the lectures on the histology of the testis as well. A week from now? 2 weeks from now? Very good. So you will well prepared. Alright? So there's no magic to it. This is a very, very straightforward. Okay, so there's so I can go a little slow. Just relax. I thought you had been lectured on it already. No. So it's not a problem. So this will form a what? A good introduction. But let me just get back to that to say now that the testis is covered by a mesothelial lining. Okay, and that layer, not all of it, not exclusion to the mediastinum now, that layer is called the tunica vaginalis. And the tunica vaginalis has two layers, a visceral layer and a parietal layer. And what you're looking at here is the visceral layer, okay? And this is derived from where? Where is it coming from? This tunica. And from the tunica from peritoneum, okay? So when the testis is passing through the anterior abdominal wall, the first thing it's going to take with it is peritoneum. And the peritoneum in relation to the testis is called the tunica vaginalis. Within the spermatic cord now it obliterates to form a structure known as the processus vaginalis, okay? So what you see there is the remnant left back in the spermatic cord known as the processus vaginalis. But there we see tunica vaginalis, and deep to that tunica vaginalis now there is the fibrous layer, and that fibrous layer is known as the tunica albuginea. Now at the deeper layer, we really look at it in different testes here. The deeper layer we see a vascular layer, and we see there's a lot of vascularity, and we trace it along here. You may see some blood vessels and encounter some blood vessels. We'll look at other slides. Okay, and we will see that innermost there you can see this all vascular, that's blood vessels. This is the tunica vasculosa. So there's a tunica vaginalis, a tunica albuginea, and deep to that the tunica vasculosa. Okay, and it is the tunica vaginalis that we see is the visceral layer. Okay, that's the visceral layer of the tunica vaginalis. Okay, so when we look at the testis right here, we will see, so some of you have been lectured on it, but it's very, very straightforward. Testis is very straightforward. Basically, it is a lobulated structure, and within each lobule, there are highly coiled tubes, and these coiled tubes are known as what? Seminiferous tubules. They're cytogenic tubules, okay? And they serve the production for the production of spermatozoa. Okay, so the testis is both an endocrine organ and a cytogenic organ. Cytogenic in that it is going to produce spermatozoa, and then it is endocrine because in between the seminiferous tubules, padded in between the seminiferous tubules, are a special set of cells known as your interstitial cells of Leydig, or Leydig, whichever one is preferred. And these Leydig cells, as you know, are producing the testosterone. Okay? So testosterone are produced primarily from your Leydig cells. So there's nothing hard to it, just to say that the testis has the posterior part of the testis is thickened to form strong structure known as what? Mediastinum. You can pass it to the diagram around and look at it. Yeah, you can pass the diagram. You can keep one over to the other lab. Not is there anybody over there, so that you only have one or two students over there. Yeah. There are one or two over there in the next lab. So maybe you can just carry these, one of these. Just give them one. Okay, so then you can take one over there. Alright. And one of these matter. Yeah. Oh, very good. And you can pass these around here. Just pass and then, then you can, somebody can keep one. Very good. Very good. Just very good. Very good. You don't see anything about favorites in there. I don't hear anything about what? Favorites in. How about this one is favorite? Very good. Pass it around. So you can pass them around. And just look at it. Okay? Alright, so these are the so you'll see from that black and white diagram that there's what's called the mediastinum testis. That's the doctors which they say they have an election on it. So you have to go a little slow with them. Alright? So In each lobule, as I said, is a highly coiled tube, which are known as the what? The seminiferous tubules, which are cytogenic, to produce spermatozoa, and they are going to lead, just at the apex of these lobules, they lead into what is referred to as a straight duct, or the retained testis. And then the retained testis now drains into some large irregular spaces in the mediastinum of testis known as the retained testis. Okay? And then from the retained testis, it will lead to what are referred to as the ductally epidermis to the duct of the epididymis. So Matthew, one is that in the testis they are seminiferous tubules. These seminiferous tubules produce spermatozoa by a process known as spermatogenesis and spermiogenesis. Spermatogenesis leads down to the haploid number, where we get a reduction, okay? So, and from there now we go to the production of spermatids. And spermatids, by a process of spermiogenesis, is now turned into what? To the spermatozoa, okay? Alright, so we have spermiogenesis and spermatogenesis occurring. These spermatozoa, once they're produced, are produced in lots of fluid around. Okay, so there's a lot of fluid that's produced with the spermatozoa. At the other end of the train line is the epididymis. The Dr. Smith will tell you. That epididymis has large structures known as stereocilia. And these stereocilia function primarily in the absorption of fluid. So as the fluid is absorbed, there's a flow going towards the what? The epididymis. So the first train station is the seminiferous tubule. Spermatozoa are produced there, and then drawn along in this flow of fluid to the little straight ducts known as the what? Straight ducts. Very good. All right. Or the direct line. Okay. Tubuli recti. And from there now, they will go now to the what? To the retained testis. Retained testis is like a lake. Okay? Large irregular spaces in the mediastinum of testis. From there, about 10 or so small tubules leave, and those small tubules are called the ductally efferentes. And these ductally efferentes now drain into the epididymis. The duct of the epididymis, which is a long structure, okay? And very, very interestingly, having these highly specialized structures known as what? Stereocilia, okay? If you want, you can read all about stereocilia. Now, we say also it's an endocrine structure because in between there are these what? Cells of Levy. And the cells of Levy are for the production of what? The testosterone. So, I'm going to come back to this slide, but we're going to look at another slide, because I want to look at different ones. Okay. Okay, so here we see another testis. Okay. So I'm really now focusing here. Good. So I'm going here just for a reason. No. What do you think will be done right here? What am I looking at right here? What's all of this right here? All along right here. What's all of this? So let's go and look here. So what are we looking at first of all? Okay, good. Have it now. What's that? Okay? What are we looking at here? So these are the seminiferous tubules, reasonable? So the seminiferous tubules, and when we look outside, we see there is a thick, fibrous covering. And that formed by collagen. That thick fibrous covering is known as the what? Tunica albuginea. Okay? It's not as well, it's very, very, very poorly developed on the ovary. Why do you think now, Matthew? Right, because we need the graphical follicle needs to extrude that egg, so therefore we can't have a thick wall, okay? But the testis now is totally different. And then now, you see a beautiful layer right here. Okay, and that is the tunica what? Vaginalis. Okay, So that's the tunica vaginalis. So there you can see right here. Yes, very good. That's the tunica. Let's look at it not a higher form. Okay. So that there, that's the tunica vaginalis. And there we see now how thick the what. So you see this is very, 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 very thick. Okay, quite thick. And that is the tunica albuginea. Okay. Now, heated tunica albuginea, we see in some places we can see better than others. We see that they are known as the tunica vasculosa. Okay. So there we're back on testes here. You can see how thick. Look at that. So this is very, 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 very thick. This is in the region going into the mediastinum testis. Okay, where it is very thick. Okay, it's very thick, then it attenuates. And then what do we notice here? That there is a layer that is below this, and this layer is vascularized. Okay, and there we're looking at a large blood vessel right here. Seems to be an artery, the wall is quite thick, and that's in the area of the tunica vasculosa. Okay, so the tunica vasculosa is deep to that. So when we look in the seminiferous tubules, we'll go on to this slide. When we look in the seminiferous tubule, alright, okay, we'll see a number of layers. So what's very apparent is the high level of mitotic activity, the meiosis and mitosis occurring, because we're seeing a lot of protein material, etc. You can see a lot of mitotic figures here. Okay, you can see that all. Look at that. So there's a lot of cell division going on. Okay, so you see all sorts of different things occurring there. You can see all the various divisions occurring. Now, basically right here, resting on the basement membrane, are where it all begins. It begins at the level of the spermatogonia. Okay? So there's spermatogonia A and there's spermatogonia B. Okay? The B are the ones that are, the A are the guys who are more reserved guys, and the B are the guys who are doing a lot of development. They are going through the process. Okay? So at the basal end we see spermatogonia. We will ask you to define in terms of the exam whether it's an A and a B do. Alright? So all we need to know is that they are spermatogonia. Okay? So there we see a lot of spermatogonia right here. You can classify the different types. So we can see some are sort of resting and relaxing. Others here are in a state of division. So this would be a B. And you can see other guys there just resting here, like not cooling out and relaxing. So there, so these are the A guys. And these very active guys, these are the B guys. Now, from there now, we now lead into what I refer to as the what? The spermatocytes. Okay? So there you can see now a lot of division occurring here. So we'll ask you to identify the spermatogonia. Alright? And then we need to identify the spermatocytes. So all of these guys here are spermatocytes. Okay? These are all spermatocytes right here. Okay? From here going right all the way to here, these are all spermatocytes. Till we reach to this point here. Okay? And then or till we reach to right over here. Now, what you will observe is that you cannot see the tails of the spermatozoa to any great degree. There's still a lot of cytoplasm around it. Maybe there's one or two tails right here. Okay, so that maybe is a tail right here. So what's occurring right here now is the process of spermiogenesis. Okay? So the spermiogenesis. So these that we went in the exam are not spermatozoa, these are spermatids. What are these? Spermatids. Because we see the head of the spermatozoa, but there's still a lot of what? Cytoplasm around. Okay? So spermiogenesis has not fully occurred right there. And there you can see a lot of cellular division occurring right here. So all of these boys here now, we're getting a reduction in chromosome number. So there is where we're seeing the So these boys here now, these are spermatocytes. We see right basically the spermatogonium, the spermatocytes, and then we see the spermatids. Okay? This here now, these are all just at the level of, this testis goes like a thing from a rat. And in a rat now, what we do is we get what's called a wave of spermatogenesis. There's a wave occurring along. So at different parts along the tubule, we find various levels of maturation. Okay, so maybe at one level now towards the end, you're just going to see now, rather than lot of the spermatids, you'll see what? Spermatozoa. Okay? So you can see right here now, you can start to see there's a lot of cytoplasm here being shed, and there are some tails being formed. You see that? So there we see lots of little tails being formed right here. So this is a little further along here. Okay? Alright, so we can see a lot of details right here. Okay. So this is at a more immature level, and these are still spermatids with a lot of cytoplasm still on there. But very nice, I like it here. There are the heads. Now the heads of the spermatozoa, spermatids, they're stuck in a special cell. And these cells are known as, they're anchored like ships on a pier. They're anchored into a special cell, and these cells are known as the Sertoli cells. Also known as what? The sustentacular cells. Okay? These are the cells of Sertoli, or the sustentacular cells. Okay. Now obviously you can see that the seminiferous tubule is really a crowded structure. Very, 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 very crowded. Okay? Very crowded. With especially with the whole, with this, all of these spermatocytes, they really are crowding things up a bit. So actually to make out the Sertoli cells are a little difficult. Okay? But this boy here seems to be a Sertoli cell right here. Okay? He looks quite different. Okay? Quite different. The cells normally like a pyramidal cell. It's called a pyramidal in shape. But if you look right here, you see a number of them just anchoring in. You see a lot of heads of this spermatids just converging. No, that's right. Well, we can maybe go, but this is really oil immersion. We shouldn't really be using this. We should use really oil. Yeah, but we can use it. Yeah, not bad. But we should really try to add oil when we could use it with it. But this is a Sertoli cell here, for sure. That's a Sertoli cell right there. See there? Okay, let's go to the base. And you can see all of the spermatozoa just sort of anchoring right there. Okay? So these are the Sertoli cells. Alright, they're very important in the blood testis barrier. Okay? So there are compartments. See there are more, so there are more Sertoli cells. You can see they're all coming to a point where they're bubble. That's another nice one. See one right there? So right there, trace them right out. Okay? You can see the difference in the shape of the nucleus. And all the heads of the spermatid are just packed in there. So there's another one right here. Alright, one more. And there's another one, beautiful. Okay? So there they are. Okay, so they're all going into this cell right here. You can see this cell is totally different. So there are different things happening on the side. Okay, so this is a nice slide to show what is Sertoli cell. So we see some of them. So in the exam we'll ask you, we have to really find a good one to ask you this Sertoli cell. Okay? So we see the various levels here. These are all spermatids. So there you can get the spermatids right there. And you can see still a lot of, we can't really see any tails that are such. Okay? Now let's take a look at some other slides. Alright, so this is some other slides. Do that. I think I pulled up a beautiful slide yesterday. Really good luck. fantastic slide that I found yesterday. And we're demonstrating it. But I, unfortunately, will let my colleague take it out. Okay, just looking right here. So this is another testis that we're looking at. Okay. Okay, let's go right here. Okay. Now, in this slide, especially get back this slide, because in this slide, Matthew, you see a lot of what? Sertoli cells. Okay? So, this is a particular slide. I was doing some work on some drugs that was affecting spermatogenesis. Okay? And I think this might have been one of the research slides that was left back. Okay? Because in this slide here, there are very few germ cells. Alright? What you're seeing right here, beautifully, are just a clump of what? Sertoli cells. Okay? So, these are the dark cells. See one here, right here, let's look at everyone. Here. See right above the point. You see it? There. Okay? So there are certain drugs that you can use. You can colchicine and stuff like that, that's good. Colchicine. There are certain drugs that you can use as a rock. That will wipe out the germ cells. Okay? Or infect the germ cell line. So anyway, here we can see very, very nice here. This is a very nice picture of individual Sertoli cells. So the germ cells, there are no spermatogonia, there is very little spermatogenesis going on right here. So if you want to take a picture of a Sertoli cell, then this is a good one. Okay? So there are a number of Sertoli cells there. There we go. Alright, let's press on. Okay. Now, look at this there. That's the first slide, you know, we took that slide yesterday. Let's look at the slide. Okay. Alright, so there we see this testis right now, and the beauty of this one here is that it shows right in the center, right here. Very good. Okay. You can see now these are the straight ducts. Okay, so there we can see little examples of the straight ducts. So the seminiferous tubules, just at the apex of the lobules, leading right into the mediastinum testis. At the apex of the lobule, leading right into the mediastinum testis, we find little small ducts. These little straight ducts. And these little straight ducts are referred to as the, they are the little straight ducts. Okay, very good. And these little straight ducts are lined by cuboidal type epithelium. The little straight ducts are lined by, very good. Oh, this thing is not that now. This is not good, sorry. Something else that up here. Look at that, bonus. This one is right. Very good. So pass that right here. Very good, right here. Pass it, what's it coming on? So you see a little diagram that I'm passing around here. You can see it, and we just pass it around a little bit. I do it this morning. Here you can see the seminiferous tubules, and the seminiferous tubules leading right into the straight tubules, so that known as the tubuli recti. And these tubuli recti are lined primarily by cuboidal cells. So if you see profiles, let's go back at them. You can use this, okay, so there. Okay, so put on an echo now. Very good. So you see they're very uniform. So the seminiferous tubule is going to lead us, the spermatozoa will lead the seminiferous tubule This is the apex of the lobule leading into the mediastinum testis into the tubuli recti. From the tubuli recti now, they lead into some, hopefully I can show you, I had a beautiful slide of it yesterday, the retate testis. So in the mediastinum testis, there are these irregular spaces called the retate testis. And the retate testis is lined by cuboidal to columnar cells. Cuboidal to columnar cells. But the defining feature is that it's irregular in shape. Or it's like a lake, irregular in shape. And some of the cells bear a single flagellum. Some of the cells bear a single flagellum. Okay? So we're going to see if we can see it. I had a nice slide of it yesterday. Now from there, we're going to lead out into the ductili efferentes. And the ductili efferentes have columnar type cells, low columnar type cells, okay, low columnar type cells, and some of them are ciliated. So we see cilia on them because this is to now aid in the movement of the spermatozoa. Okay, so from the irregular space, we lead into a number of little tubules which I'll try to show you, and these are called the ductili efferentes. The ductili efferentes now lead into the duct of the epididymis, which is easy to identify. Okay? Easy to identify because what? We will see that the epithelium is prominent what? Pseudo-stratified columnar with tall stereocilia. So the epididymis has epithelium which is pseudo-stratified columnar with stereocilia. And as you see, lined in red by smooth muscle. So the duct of the epididymis has smooth muscle in the wall. In the ductili efferentes, you're just really resting on a basement membrane. Okay, just basically on a basement membrane. And we see many of them. So in the ductili efferentes, you just see a nest of very small tubules, and we should be able maybe to identify some cilia. Okay, so remember, 70 plus tubules lead into the tubuli recti, which you see here, and then into the retate testis. Okay, what's wrong with that? Yes? Well, in that area here, so we're leading into the mediastinum testis, okay? And right here, in fact, look at this. Right here, you have, that's a good thing. Let's look right here. Okay? So right here, these are the little straight tubules. Okay? These are the little straight tubules right here. Okay? This is called the longitudinal section. Alright, so these are the straight tubules, lined by cuboidal type cells mainly. When we reach into the retate testis, now, we're going to observe that the spaces are irregular. Alright, now let us hope that we can find out retate testis. I had a lovely one here yesterday, and I'm taking up the slides today, but we stop it up and down with the slides. We demonstrated the retate testis yesterday. Let's see if we can find it on this slide. Okay. Ah, beautiful. Excellent. What do we see? Immediately we see the second area, and what do we see in the second area? Irregular spaces. Okay? Very good. So this is the area of the mediastinum testis right here. So there you see that's the testis right here with all of its coverings. Okay, that's the testis with all, that's the epididymis. Okay, so if you look at the diagram now, that testis now, there we are now leading into the area of the mediastinum testis, and in this mediastinum testis here now, these are some, you could think also that maybe these are some of the straight tubules. Okay, so some of these are some, tell me wrong? The lower left? Yeah, right there? No. These in fact are the ductili efferentes. There's into the ductili efferentes. And up here, the larger duct of the epididymis. So give a chance. So that's very good. So that's what we're looking at here now. So this is one of the septulae testis. Alright, so there we see the septulae testis right here. Okay. And then when we can see how the whole thing is converging. So it's converging, right back here now to the area of the mediastinal testis. See another septulae testis leaving right here? Alright? So where's that black and white diagram? Anyone have that black and white diagram? Yeah, just pass it over, you know? That's the name. Yes. Alright, so yeah, beautiful. Okay? So there you can see the mediastinal testis. There you see the septulae testis, and you can see the seminiferous tubule just leading now into the straight tubule, and then into the mediastinal was the retate testis, and then about 10 or 12 or so ductili efferent is coming off to lead into the what? Into the epididymis. Okay? So that's a very important, that's a rare diagram to come across. I don't really know which book I got to, but it's not a diagram that you normally see. So you can make some photocopies of this. It's very good. Alright? So this is the fibrous area known as the mediastinal testis. And there we can see within the mediastinal. Don't switch word up here. Don't switch word up here to get this slide. But yesterday. But actually this slide we had yesterday we saw where the seminiferous tubule was transitioning straight to straight and then into the retain. So in this one here, we're seeing just a section, a different profile showing a lot of the retate testis. There you can see irregular shaped spaces. Alright? Irregular shaped spaces. Okay? Now the epithelium. Unfortunately, the epithelium, because of the where this is deep surrounded by a lot of fibrous connective tissue, it's very, very hard for the fixative that we used to get and penetrate into these deep parts. So fixation of the epithelium becomes a problem. Alright? But anyway, so in there, that space there is said to be lined by columnar, but we're not looking very flattened in fact in these cases here. Alright? So there we see case of the retate testis. We're going to do the slides of the penis, etc. for the next lab. We see that kind of another slide showing a better preservation in the retate testis. Okay? As I say, from there we lead into a structure known as the what? The ductili efferentes. Now, one of these slides I think have some ductili efferentes. Let me look at this one. So now you have to look at a number of slides to pick up all the various structures. Alright, so this is okay, so there we see a lot of little small tubules. Okay, lots of small tubules here. Okay, alright, lots of small little. This is the fibrous covering right here we're looking at. Okay, alright, this is alright. So these small tubes up here, now we can open that door here. Okay. No. Okay. So these small, this is some, these are the ductili efferentes right here, but what we're seeing here, we have a transition, you know, going into the what? Into the duct of the epididymis, because this is not cilia, this is what? Stereocilia. Right. So this is not a good example of the ductili efferentes, that's more the duct of the epididymis. Let me see if I see another slide that might have it. Okay, let's look at this one. The ductili efferentes have just cilia in their walls. Alright, that definitely was leading into the, there's a transition going to the duct of the epididymis. Okay. Alright, still this here is epididymis that we're looking here. So want some very small, Dr. D efferent keys. Okay, this little guy here, just look at him. Very small again. Very, very, very small tubules. I think you want here. Yeah, that's it. So, you have a very small little guy here. Alright, see his navel beside. The navel beside are much larger. We usually find spermatozoa in them, but not always. Not always, okay? But these here have smooth muscle surrounding their walls and pseudostratified columnar epithelium with stereocilia. So these are the large stereocilia. Okay, so what we want to find one of the smaller ducts. Let me come down here. That's leading into them. Small little guys leading into them. Right? These are the ductally efferent keys. Okay, this is the one here. Okay, let's look at this again. Alright, yeah. So, one of the small little guys, but still just, I'll find there's some good ductily efferent keys for you. Let's do that for a while. We're going to come back to that. Let's look at the duct of the epididymis. Okay. Alright. Okay, there. Beautiful. Okay, one time some good spermatozoa. Okay, so this is very nice. So this type of epithelium here is what? Pseudo-stratified columnar with stereocilia. Okay? And there's smooth muscle surrounding these tubes. Right? So it has smooth muscle, the duct of the epididymis has smooth muscle, and we should see spermatozoa. Alright? We should see spermatozoa there. But notice these are the stereocilia. Alright? So there we can see the stereocilia right here. Let me go to the other part of this. Okay, wow, look at that. So there's a lot of storage right over here. Okay, so very good. Okay, so this is much better now. Alright? So the stereocilia there are far more prominent right here. Okay? So there you can see the pseudostratified, beautiful. There you can see the pseudostratified columnar epithelium with the stereocilia. And there is a mat of spermatozoa. Okay? So there's millions and millions of spermatozoa. Okay? So just all, and there comes to very nice stereocilia there. Okay? So the stereocilia are beautiful in this slide right here. Very, very nice. Okay? So this is a beautiful example of the duct of the epididymis. Now, one last thing, and then I will take 2 minutes break. Let's look at the Leydig cells. Okay. So the Leydig cells are very important. Leydig cells seem to be giving males a lot of trouble in Jamaica. Why? What do you think is the problem in Jamaica? The Leydig cells are giving a lot of trouble in Jamaica. Why? Males in Jamaica seem to have far too much what? Testosterone. Alright, it seems to have overload of testosterone, leading to what? No. Too much prostate cancer. So testosterone really is one of the things that's giving the prostate a lot of trouble. Okay? So when the prostate, the old days now when the prostate was giving a lot of trouble, we had to do an operation. What do you call that operation? Orchidectomy. Orchidectomy is what they call it. So the old days of prostate cancer, they would have to remove the what? They have to remove the testes. Yes, in the old days, we try to cut down on testosterone, which is not a good test castration. Not a good story at all. So, like earlier days here in anatomy, we get a lot of cadavers, or we get some cadavers of men who had these operations. They're not a good story. And I remember one particular case when I joined over a year ago after, the man had well developed gynecomastia. And looking at the breast, it looked exactly like a lady's, everything. Alright, yes, a bit of a rough story. Alright, so the lady cells, and then now they have to be giving them all sorts of female hormones, still estrol and all sorts of things to what? Counteract all of this what? And baby cells. So the testosterone production is a lot. There, good. So let's get on to it. Alright, so beautiful, excellent, fantastic. So there you're looking at some beautiful gold medal, platinum lady cells. Why is it platinum? These cells are steroidal. They are producing testosterone. The cells are sequestering cholesterol and using cholesterol now to build up the form testosterone. So what we're seeing here is these cells here, and you see all these droplets. These are the lipid droplets. Okay? So these are our lady cells here, and this is a beautiful example of the lady cells. I want to show you another, not such a good example, because your chances of getting one like this and the example are very slim. So I'm going to show you what the average one looks like. So these ones are platinum. So you see a lot of droplets, and they are pale staining cells. So Matthew, using your endocrine knowledge, what's stimulating these lady cells to produce testosterone? LH. Okay? LH. Very good. And then there's ICSA. Okay? Yes, so LH is very important in what? In stimulating for the production of testosterone. In here also are some macrophage cells. And these cells are in what's called interstitium. Okay? These cells are in the interstitium right here. And we see a number of lady cells. But this is gold medal lady cells. Alright? Let's just look at an average slide. And look at the lady cells in this average slide. Just look at the lady cells in different slides. Okay? So there you can see now. Alright, so I would say these are more your average lady cells. This is quite an island of lady cells that we're seeing there. Okay? So we're looking in there right now in between, say, 370 per tubules, okay? Yeah, there's in between 370 per tubules. Maybe 4 with 1. Yeah, there's nothing wrong 4 in the corner there. But there we can see a number of interstitial cells. Now, just to tell you, and then we'll take a break, 2 minutes break, and come back and do spermatozoid and prostate. But just to tell you that, and I have done some work on marijuana. Okay? So I have worked on ganja seeds. Very good. Now, very interesting that I did some electron microscopy on lady cells. Okay, looking at various levels of marijuana consumption, like approximating to say 1 split a day, 2 splits a day, and 5 splits. Okay, so I had low dose marijuana, medium, and really high dose marijuana. So all of them, all the dose levels of marijuana which have been shown, the marijuana increases the testosterone level. Alright? So marijuana cuts down dramatically on testosterone. So really good for your prostate. Yeah, just thinking about that, really a good thing for it. Prostate is what it testosterone a lot of. So I will get call that line, just thought that, it should be good. So it cuts down dramatically on testosterone. But interestingly, testosterone is involved with a thing called libido. Okay? So the libido of the individual is very dependent on testosterone levels. However, I did some combined studies with behavioral scientists and we were looking at X, Y, and Z. And found out that the mating activity in those that had the marijuana, especially at an intermediate dose level, was far more, even though I did make the amino acids, and even though they found that the testosterone was way down, they were sexually, the animals were much more sexually active, okay? And became in fact very aggressive. So when you put like about 4 or 5 males in a cage, and you come back the next day, you may only see 1 or 2 males. So you see a lot of heads cut off and all that sort of stuff. The males became far more aggressive. And those males that were far more sexually active with the copulating activity and all sorts of things. So what it shows that marijuana is binding with the limbic system. And in fact, within all of us, we have cannabinoids. In our brain, we have natural cannabinoids and anandamide, okay? And they're natural endocannabinoids. So when you're smoking marijuana and all that, what you're really doing is heightening the levels of these things that naturally occur. Okay, the doctor should clearly says that anandamide has a Hindu or Sanskrit root word to the meaning of anandamide. So it means like a high or something like that. But if you give anandamide, then you get this high feeling. So what is doing? Binding with the what? With the limbic system. And that's where it's pushing the sexual activity. Alright? And there's some of the aggressive behavior and all that. So maybe with the amygdala and that sort of stuff. But I mean, I would go on to conferences and this and they're just people so they blow your mind out of the endocannabinoid system in the brain and the function. So interestingly, if I can just tell you this long job. When I looked at the EM, because I presented that paper, when you look at the EM work, you find that what is really happening is that marijuana at the lady cell level is, the lady cells are now pulling in a lot of cholesterol, they're sequestering a lot of cholesterol. But the organelles within, there's a spatial disorganization of all the organelles. And it's failing now to keep that cholesterol into testosterone. So there's a spatial decoupling of the organelles within the lady cells. And you start to see organelles starting to drift to various parts. But everything needs to be like a factory line. This needs to pass, needs to pass to that. So very interesting that the cells sequester a lot of cholesterol but fail to produce the testosterone. But Jamaican men will tell you that that does not interfere with their what? Sexual activity. When they want to X, Y, and Z, they get a movie or what? Smoke a movie or a drug. Alright? Interesting last thing though. That is 3 levels of marijuana. I compare it. But the lowest level like one split every other day or so. There's no dramatic effect. Okay? When you're like 2 to 3 splits every other day, then you find out that those animals are very sexually active. But aggression is very bad in that group. When you put like 5 splits every other day, that's doing a lot of marijuana. When you look at the animal in the cages the next day, they are not, there's no aggression. All you do is just swinging on the bar. They're just swinging like that. You just swing this narrative to the animal and hold on to it and let it swing. Easily like that. Alright, and their sexual activity is decreased because they're just way off in another world. Alright, so therefore,